I'm a Christian.
The people that are complaining that they're not getting their food stamps for November, what did you do with October's food stamp money? What'd you do? Did you stock up on pantry items and try to shop smartly? Or did you just go buy a bunch of processed garbage? By the way, you can thank the Democrats for the government being shut down and your benefits not coming through for November. Looks like you're going to be going to the food pantry for your Thanksgiving meal. I know a lot of food pantries hand out turkeys for Thanksgiving. All the sides and trimmings too. Lots of food pantries. You better figure it out. I'm sick of hearing you complain, honestly. You ever have this as a meal? I'm eating peanut butter and butter on toast. It's absolutely delicious. You should try it. And not for nothing, I saw this woman that said she was getting $1,100 a month in food stamps. Do you know how long I could make $1,100 in food stamps last in this house? There's two of us, but I do have my son over every once in a while, or my daughters over once in a while to eat. I feed them too, and we always got food in our house, no matter what. I would take a third job. I have two jobs. I would take a third job if I had to, just to make sure my kids ate. What are you doing for your kids besides coming on the internet and bitching that you don't have any money in your food stamps account?
Why did you ask whether they either bought processed junk or if they stocked up on pantry items? Most pantry items are processed. And then you talked about eating peanut butter on toast. That stuff is processed. Processed also doesn't equal bad. Also, if you've ever looked into this, you know things like obesity rates and poverty rates are linked together because when people have less money or are relying on food stamps, they're going to try and get more bang for their buck, like you just said. So if they have a big family, they're typically going to get like a frozen lasagna to feed their family. But then if they eat healthier and spend the actual money, then you're also crapping on them. So it seems like they're never going to win with you anyways. Hey, at least we learned what the Christian response is to this issue.
Tasha, is this you?
I need money. Yes, I do. I need money. Yes, lots of money.
It's always the poor lifting down the poor, because when the government failed you, you feel like the government should fail everyone else. Are you what they call a welfare queen? And yes, that video appears to be 10 years old. Your financial situation may have changed, likely for the better, but that video sure came back to haunt you 10 years later, right? Or lack of empathy for those that are going to lose their SNAP benefits next month shows me that you likely relied on government assistance yourself. There's nothing wrong with that. Your income bracket may have improved in the last 10 years, and hey, good for you. Everyone has their highs and their lows in life. So just remember that.
Have you heard the latest about the toast eating food stamp lady? Apparently, she's lost her job. Corporate did not agree with her looking down her nose on people who receive food stamps benefits. So, let me ask you this. To the food stamp lady, what did you do with this month's check? Considering you won't be getting a check for November. Did you splurge on everyday needs like food, your clothing, your shelter, water, electricity? Or did you save up a little pocket full of sunshine for November? Better yet, what did you do with the other half of that burnt processed toast, peanut butter, and butter that you had? Did you save some for your meal next month? Better yet, let me ask you this. Did you save it for Thanksgiving? Because it looks like you're going to be the one visiting the food pantry, you know, getting the turkey and all the trimmings. And you can thank the Republicans for that. The word of today is humility. Always remain humble. Because if you don't, God will humble you with a quickness.
This is for all you people out there complaining about water. What you do with last month's water. You didn't dare to just watch it go down the drain. You let your kids take a bath in it? You didn't think to save it to the next time they needed to take a bath? Huh? Blame the Democrats. You need water for your toilet. What you need water for a dishwasher for? Dishes don't need to be washed. People are crazy. Out here thinking you need water. You don't need any water.
Hello guys, and welcome to the Joe Report, where we get an outsider's view with an insider's clarity. It always starts the same way. Someone goes online, turns on their camera, and decides they've got the world all figured out. This time, it was a self-proclaimed MAGA voter who thought she was delivering a hard truth about people on food stamps, and instead, she ended up exposing just how little she understands about what it means to struggle. Before we proceed, all credit goes to the creators of these videos. Let's watch a few more clips, and I'll be back with more commentary.
So Latasha thinks that it's okay to sit on TikTok and talk shit about people while she's eating a peanut butter jelly sandwich. No jelly, sorry. Peanut butter and butter sandwich. And she feels like no one should get SNAP benefits. Why? Well, mainly because hers were taken away from her. When her kids were taken away from her. And she no longer has custody of her kids, but she won't say that. But the power of the internet and the people that just are so great at their jobs as internet detectives sat there and pulled up all that information about Latasha. The thing is, Mercado is her last name, and that's also a Hispanic last name. So tell me you hate yourself without telling me you hate yourself.
So there's a woman on here named Latasha Mercado. You may or may not have seen her videos. She made a video that people are very upset about, which I get, basically belittling people on food stamps, asking them, it's October, or in November, you may not get your food stamps. It's October. What have you done with your October food stamps? Well, it's October 22nd today. I'm assuming the people that are on food stamps have gotten food for themselves and their children. That's what people do on food stamps. They use it on food for themselves and their children. It's horrible to me that she's putting people down, basically, and basically telling them that she's sick of hearing about it. It is a very real issue that in November, there may not be food stamps, and people are going to be hungry. I don't know why we're putting people down. I hope that this woman never is in a position to have to use a government program.
In her video, she looks into the camera and starts scolding people who are upset about not getting their food stamps for November. She says, and I quote, people that are complaining that they're not getting their food stamps for November, what did you do with October's money? Did you stock up on pantry items, or did you just go buy a bunch of processed garbage? Right away, the tone is clear. She's not trying to understand. She's not trying to help. She's trying to shame. And then she takes it a step further and says, by the way, you can thank the Democrats for the government being shut down and your benefits not coming through for November. Looks like you're going to be going to the food pantry for your Thanksgiving meal. It's cruel, honestly. She's laughing at the idea of people struggling to feed their families, mocking those who rely on food assistance to get through the month. She keeps talking, proud of her own hard work, bragging about how she has 2 jobs and would take a 3rd one if she had to. She says she's sick of hearing people complain, but as you listen, you can tell she doesn't know what it's like to truly go without, because struggling isn't about people being lazy or irresponsible. It's about making impossible choices between groceries and gas, between rent and medicine. It's about parents who quietly skip meals so their kids can eat. It's about people working full-time, sometimes more, and still not having enough to cover the basics. This woman talks about eating peanut butter and butter on toast like it's some quirky thrifty meal. But for a lot of families, that's not a cute meal, that's survival food. That's what you eat when the fridge is empty, and payday is still a week away. And while she's sitting there pointing fingers, blaming Democrats and poor people and everyone but the system, she completely misses the point. Millions of Americans depend on food stamps, not because they're lazy, but because the system has failed them. What about the seniors who can't work anymore? What about people with disabilities? What about single parents who are already working 2 jobs but still can't make ends meet? She acts like everyone on assistance is doing something wrong. But what's really wrong is a society where people have to beg for basic rights to eat. And let's be real, how much does she even think people are getting on food stamps? Some families barely get $200 a month. And you know what? That $200 may not seem like much to her, but for some of them, it means the difference between having food on the table or going hungry. It's not a lot, but it helps. They get food on the table, and that matters. So when someone mocks people for that, for simply trying to feed their kids, it says a lot about who they are and what they value.
Have you seen the girl talking about how she's tired of people complaining about losing their food stamps? And what did they do with October's food stamp money? Did they buy pantry items, or did they just buy junk? Ma'am, what are you even talking about? And she's blaming Democrats for the government shutdown. I love when people are so wrong and uneducated and loud about it. Wrong and loud. And supposedly she's a Christian. I can't stand it anymore. I can't stand fake capitalistic Christians who think dunking on poor people receiving assistance is cute. I'm not sure what kind of Christian you are, ma'am, but that's not the type of Christian that Jesus Christ was, okay? Like, y'all are ridiculous. It is beyond at this point, okay? And your last name is Mercado. Are you well? Okay? ICE is in your town right now trying to scoop up your cousin, Mercado. Get it together. Ew.
People are saying she had no empathy, and they're right. Her entire rant dripped with judgment and self-preciousness. But as karma would have it, the story didn't end there, because not long after that video went viral, it came out that she ended up losing her job. The same woman who claimed she'd work a third job if she had to, suddenly found herself without one. And no, it's not about celebrating someone else's misfortune. Losing your job is hard, no matter who you are. But maybe, just maybe, it served as a lesson, a reminder that life can flip in an instant, because that's the truth about struggle. It doesn't discriminate. One layoff, one accident, one medical bill, and suddenly you're the one wondering how to keep the lights on. The people who look down on others for needing help often forget how close they are to needing that same help themselves. It's easy to preach self-reliance when things are going well. It's harder to admit that none of us truly make it alone. You can work hard, do everything right, and still fall short. That's why safety nets like food stamps exist, not to make people lazy, but to keep people alive. Most of the people on assistance are working. They're not freeloaders. They're just surviving in a system that keeps pushing them down. The irony is that the same people who claim to care about family values are often the same to shame families for needing help. But empathy shouldn't be political, hunger shouldn't be partisan, and compassion shouldn't be optional. In the end, what this woman lost wasn't just her job, it was a sense of humanity. Because when you stop seeing others as deserving of care and understanding, you lose something far more important than a paycheck. You lose your connection to what it means to be human. So maybe the real lesson here isn't about her losing her job, it's about the world we're living in. A world where kindness is seen as weakness and judgment is seen as strength. But here's the thing, compassion costs nothing, and sometimes is the only thing that keeps people going.
To all the people complaining that it's getting cold outside, what'd you do with all the heat we had this summer? Did you not save any of it? You knew it was going to get cold. By the way, you can thank the Democrats for that.
So what do you all think? Do you believe karma caught up to her, or was it just bad luck? Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section. I would love to keep this discussion going. Otherwise, that's it from me. I also have another video specifically tailored for you, and if you enjoy such kind of content, please click up here and enjoy. Also, I'm requesting you to kindly join my channel, and I would really appreciate it. Lastly, consider subscribing, liking and sharing, because it helps me grow my channel and helps YouTube recommend this video to a wider audience. But for now, thank you so much for watching, and until the next time, the Joy Report out.